No, I've got the green sludge, but I've put barley straw stuff in to get rid of that. So.
I think we may be live.
You sound a lot more professional with your pond setup than we do.
Well, it's 4 years of experimenting. I think, are we live?
We might be live.
Oh, is my hair alright?
Like long hair.
I'm just checking where it could be that we're live. That's the weird thing. I heard that we're live. It says that we're live.
No, I had
I
mine
can't
done
see where we're live.
before the hairdresser's closed. So at the moment I'm only 2 weeks overdue. But I went really blonde because it comes up grey so much.
I'm going blonde as well, actually. Yeah, well, sort of grey blonde.
Bit of lemon juice in your hair just to smoothen this
Oh, there we
I've
are.
got all sorts of stuff in my hair.
Yeah, it works quite well actually.
There we are, look.
I haven't got a hairdresser back in Tesco though.
She's coming back at 8 o'clock tonight. She's brilliant, but she's
People are
a bit
watching
lazy
now.
as well. As in, like, they said, you come on Tuesday. Wednesday, I can do Wednesday for 4 hours.
And I'll do my big 8 shift on 8-hour shift on a Friday. I was like, darling, no. Do your front lines staff, they need you.
Are you deleting that?
No, it's live.
Now?
It's all live. Yeah, this is happening.
Are you going to edit it a tiny bit later on?
No, it's live. This is happening now.
Well, good evening, everyone. And do excuse the technical hitches. We're here
That's what we do best.
in the Knowlings field in Whitchurch, otherwise known as the dog walking field, at the back of my garden. We have an audience of 3 who thankfully you can't see at the moment because they've all been drinking heavily. And I'm Paul Sartin, and this is my colleague and friend Jon Wilks from the Whitchurch Folk Club, and we're going to present to you 3 tracks this evening. 2 songs collected here in Whitchurch, Hampshire, and then a set of tunes in the middle.
I'm going to turn that sound off.
Are you going to come back?
What do you want?
Beer in the
Barrel thing.
We're not live. You're teasing me.
That's happening live.
Joe, do you want to
It's just it beams 30 seconds late.
walk behind a minute and scream or shout or something like the BBC?
And there you go. See, it's 30 seconds ago. There's me stroking my head. And there's all sorts of people. Who's here? I don't know. We can't even see who's here. Is anybody here? Can you wave to us? 6 people are watching. Just into from Whitchurch, Hampshire. We will be with you in a moment. Tell them a joke, Paul.
There once was an artist called Titian. No, I can't tell that. That's rude.
Somebody's beaming back. Hey.
2 nuns in a clinch in a cloister. No, I can't tell that one. That's rude. No, I don't know any clean jokes. Also, I'm just preparing myself for this broadcast and trying to get zen about it all. So
This is not the time.
I'm so nervous.
I wish there was a way to stop being heard. But that will be just, we'll just have to deal with that. Right, we are live. And we have how many people watching us? This is going to be the fun part. Zooming in and back again. We've got about 7 people watching us.
Oh, and all 7 of them are my mum.
So, welcome to a field in Hampshire. We'll play some songs and tunes. We're safely distanced apart.
Yep.
Don't want to get any closer.
No, certainly don't.
No. How have you been, Paul? How's been lockdown for you?
I'm afraid to say, I know it's very hard for lots of people, but I'm loving lockdown. Lots of
you?
performing, lots of interesting musical projects like this, and I don't have to drive around the country incessantly. I can sleep in my own bed every night. I can sleep in my own bed with my dog every night. And the weather's been beautiful. I've been gardening. We have this lovely field here behind us, so we're very blessed, actually. I think if I was in a flat in the city, I wouldn't be enjoying that very much.
Yeah.
And what about you, John?
I'm all right. My brain is half on the fact that I'm just trying to work out if we're streaming okay. But I will tell you, watching from Bristol, okay. John is practically silent. John will be practically silent because my microphone is turned down quite a lot because I'm going to be playing the louder instrument. But to answer your question, lockdown's been interesting as well. Lots of chance to mess around.
And John, can you tell the audience what you're drinking?
This is non-alcoholic beer because I am 13 years sober this month. I usually drink real kombucha, which is a very delicious drink. Tonight I couldn't get hold of any cold real kombucha, so I brought a non-alcoholic beer called Lucky Saint.
And I was drinking until my tanker got taken away. A Long Dog beer made in Basingstoke, Basingstoke's only independent brewery, made by a friend of mine who's in my choir called Rod Edbrook. So Long Dog Brewery, look it up because it's really, really nice beer and very light and gentle for this. Perfect for a summer's evening or spring evening. So we're going to start with a song called Merry Month of May. This was collected in 1907 from a labourer and gardener called Henry Lee, who lived about, what, a quarter of a mile from here?
Yeah, something like that.
In 2 Weir cottages here in Whitchurch, and he sang approximately 11 songs to Dr. George Gardner, who was an eminent collector.
That's right.
This is quite well known in folk circles, but most people know the Copper Family's version from Sussex. But we're going to do the one from here in Whitchurch because obviously it's far superior. Thank you.
Yes. And we're going to play it as though we're the Smiths.
Yeah. 'Twas in the merry month of May, in the springtime of the year, and down by yonder river there runs a river clear. See how the little fishes, how they do sport and play, causing many a lad and many a lass to go there a-making hay. Then in comes the scytheman, his meadow to mow down, with his own leather bottle and the ale that runs so brown. There's many a stout and labouring man comes here his sport to try. He works, he mows, he sweats and blows, and the ale runs very dry. Then in comes both Will and Tom with their pitchforks and their rakes, and likewise black-eyed Susan, the hay all for to make. There's a sweet, 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 and a jug, 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 how the nightingales do sing, from the morning till the evening, as we were haymaking. 'Twas just at one evening as the sun was a-going down, we spied 2 jolly pipers come strolling through the town. Then they pulled out their tabor and pipes, and they made the valleys ring, from the morning till the evening, as we were a-haymaking. Called for a dance and we trippered it along. We danced all through the haycocks till the rising of the sun, when the sun did shine such a glorious light, and it made the valleys ring. We all put down our rakes and forks and left off haymaking.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sorry, my dog's run off. That's terribly rude.
You want my autograph?
Yes, is that all right?
Are you from the Inland Revenue?
No. No, I'm just walking around the field with my dog.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That sounded beautiful.
Walking
Thank
around
you.
the field with your dog and a glass of wine.
Yeah, well, you do.
Nice.
If you live and your gate walks
your gate opens onto the field. It's lovely. So yes, that sounded beautiful. Are you playing another one?
We're going to play a set of tunes now.
Yeah.
Last weekend was, well, customarily, is the Bampton Weekend of Dance. Bampton in the Bush in Oxfordshire, which is one of the major homes to Morris dancing. They've got a tradition that stretches back, hundreds of years. And I've got lots of great friends down there. And I normally go on Whitsun to watch the dancing and have a great session. So that's sorely missed this year. But we're going to play the Bampton version of the Princess Royal. And then we're going to play the standard version of Princess Royal, which I'm sure you all know and love from watching the Trooping of the Colour.
I'm going to watch it. That's
Okay. And yeah, feel free to dance if you'd like to.
Okay. Maybe not on camera.
So, Bampton Princess Royal, and this is for my friends in Bampton, particularly Matt and Jeff and Toby and Joe.
All of them. still playing over there. Look.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Oh, there's applause coming from all over the field. All 20 people online can't hear that.
So, two versions of the Princess Royal. The second one, the common or garden version, and the first one, the premium version from Bampton in the Bush.
And neither of them versions that I know very well, but we'll sort that out in the future. What's the next one?
Well, should we finish with Blackbird? Do you want to talk about it? And the club, maybe.
Yeah. So we're going to finish. We didn't want to play terribly long. We might continue playing afterwards. The power's going to run out anyway, so we have to do what we can. But it's going to be, the next one is going to be If I Were a Blackbird. If I Were a Blackbird. From around these parts as well, from just around the corner, literally what, half a mile away, if that, from the Weir cottages here in Whitchurch, collected by George Gardner from Henry Lee,
and his daughter actually as well.
And a daughter.
We don't know what her name was. But
no.
Miss
I
Lee.
always imagine that she sang this for some reason. But you're going to sing it in your best Henry Lee voice.
So this is quite unusual because most traditional songs have a written sort of corollary from a broadside or similar. A version, a sort of similar version, and you can these can be traced back often to the 17th and 18th centuries. But with If I Was a Blackbird, there's no known printed origin for it, so we can't actually trace it back everywhere. What we do know is that it was very popular by the end of the 19th century, mid to late 19th century, and was sung all over the British Isles and also in the States and wherever people emigrated. And it was very popular in Ireland, and in the 30s it was recorded by Delia Murphy, and her version became a big hit, both in Ireland and over in the States with the Irish diaspora there. And then in the 1950s...
You've got all the best words tonight.
Yeah, it's not good. It's the Long Dog Beer, another little sort of bit of a retailing opportunity there. Long Dog Beer from Basingstoke, sponsoring this evening, I hope. In the 50s, one Ronnie Renaud recorded it, and Ronnie Renaud was a professional siffleur, which means whistler, and he recorded this complete with the sounds of blackbirds, which actually you might get in the background in a minute. And his version made it into the top 10. But we're going to do the Whitchurch version, as John says. Since it's been rediscovered, it's become the Whitchurch anthem, I think, really. So feel free to join in.
Blackbird, right?
Yeah.
Not that one.
Funny guy. If you come along to the Whitchurch Folk Club once we reopen, you can hear more of John's humour live in person.
Yeah, we're going. I don't know when that's going to happen, is it? I mean, I know that we're trying at the moment to reschedule Whitchurch Folk Club gigs.
Schedule, not schedule. You're not American.
We're going to try to reorganise Whitchurch Folk Club gigs. Yesterday I was talking to, or in the last week or so, I've been talking to Eliza Carthy's people about making sure that she does come eventually. And you're sorted. We've got you. It's all up there on the Whitchurch website, so we know some people are coming. We'll sort out the rest as soon as we can.
Yeah. I am a poor girl, and my fortune seems sad. 6 months have I courted a young sailor lad, and truly I loved him by night and by day. And now in his transport he sailed far away. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in. and on the top rigging there I'd build my nest and lay my head all night on his lily white breast. My love's tall and handsome in every degree. His parents despise him because he loves me. But let them despise him or say what they will, while there's breath in my body, I'll love my love still. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and on the top rigging there I'd build my nest and lay my head all night on his lily white breast. He promised he'd meet me at Bonnie Brown Fair with a bunch of blue ribbons to tie in my hair. And if he should meet me, then I'd crown him with joy and kiss those fond lips of my young sailor boy. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and on the top rigging there I'd build my nest and lay my head all night on his lily white breast. If I was a writer, could handle the pen, just one private letter to him I would send. I'd write and I'd tell him of my sad grief and woe, and far o'er the ocean with him I would go. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and on the top rigging there I'd build my nest and lay my head all night on his lily white breast. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and on the top rigging there I'd build my nest and lay my head all night on his lily white breast.
Oh, one applause, nice.
It's a bit like the clap for NHS, all the neighbours are clapping.
Four, I can hear 4 pairs of hands.
We are taking donations.
Are we?
I am.
So I think now's the time to check what people have said, right? That's a part of this tradition. Okay, so we have quite a lot of people. So we've got John is practically silent. Oh, Damien, you know I wasn't. Somebody's watching from Bristol.
Right, crikey, that's exotic.
Exotic. There's somebody saying this is all rather wonderful.
Oh, Jackie Oates has sent a picture. Hi, Jackie.
Oh, lovely. Hello from the wild west of London. The dog is the real star of the stream.
As always.
The dog is always the real star of the stream. Hello from the wilds of Norfolk, so opposite side.
Blimey.
I know.
Have you got a light boy?
Let's see, what else have we got? We've got added Jarvis, even more wonderful. Somebody here knows the dog's name, so there's some stalking going on.
Oh, that again.
Street, sounding good, chaps. Wondering if all the farmers' fields have such good Wi-Fi down south. That's a good question.
It's not a farmer's field actually. This is well, it's become sort of common land, so that's quite a good question. It used to be a farmer's field, but now we've taken it over, and we had to fight development a few months ago to get it preserved and not spoilt. So we've got an ongoing mission to preserve the dog walking field.
There's now nearly 30 people on, so we could either leave them.
We'll do a tune, shall we, to finish?
We could do a tune.
Bit of Astley's.
Might as well do Astley's.
Followed by something in G.
You just lead me. Lead me, Paul. Astley's is a particular favourite of mine, so I'm always sad if we don't get to do it.
So thank you all for joining us. Do look up Whitchurch Folk Club or Jon Wilks Music or Paul Sartin on various forms of...
What are you? Where are you most commonly? You spend a lot of time on Instagram, don't you?
We're both on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, Grindr.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think you'd reveal
Neither was
that.
my girlfriend. So,
Just as hair as you. Okay, Astley's Ride. In what, D?
D, yeah.
2, 3. Hello. Yeah. Don't want to stop now. It's all so fun. But we're going to stop.
Yeah,
Paul's
sun's
going to
going in now.
Paul's going to teach me some tunes and maybe we'll do it again another time. So, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you next time. Lovely treat. Thank you, says Emmy. Sorry, Emmy, you didn't even know I'd left the house.